Hi, my name is Steve Faulkner, this is Real Magic Review, and today I'm going to be reviewing Buzzkill by John Bannon and Big Blind Media. Before we do that, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but could you please have a look at cardmagiccourse.com. This is my card magic course that I've add to every month. It's massive, there's loads of videos on there, there's everything you could need, and it's a great complement to your books and DVDs. I've just invested in a new camera. It's exciting, isn't it? I'm all set up, what you can't see now, but it's really exciting. But because of that, there's a chance that this might look rubbish. It might sound rubbish, so bear with me because I'm kind of, feeling my way here with new equipment. So let me know. Any feedback would be lovely for the audio and anything like that. And I'll be tinkering with it as we make videos. I have to do a little bit in post. That's what I'm a real filmmaker now. So that's what we say when we basically change one setting very slightly. So we've got one here, one here, and these two. And this is fly paper. Okay. Okay, so it's the blank paper. So we have one here, and this one here, and here. Okay, watch. But click. Cool.
I think one.
No, the flies have gone then. So the flies have gone from there. You know where they are?
Here.
Oh man, I did it too hard, right?
Yeah,
I killed the flies. In the gut. Sorry. I do love a packet trick. I do. I like how they feel when they're good, and I like the reaction they get actually. And people are a bit down on packet tricks, aren't they? And I think they're great. I think they're no, not all of them, obviously. But going back to Oil and Queens and a lot of the stuff in the Walton books, people just respond to them because they're really easy to follow. There's only a few cards. They don't care that it's not with a whole deck, and so when I got this, it was a bit retro, cards with little flies on them, and it kind of takes you back, doesn't it? And then we've seen stuff like this before. We've seen stuff that gags where you turn them over. I did Gone the other day, didn't I? From Alakazam, and that's a similar idea. You got a packet trick, you turn it over, and there's a gag there. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But the first thing to say is, if you sort of get what you see, okay? If you like this effect, there's no hidden. It's a very honest effect, as John Bannon's stuff is. If you look at all his fractal stuff, I really like it. Going back to Twisted Sister. Which isn't, I think, to be completely fractal, he says it has to be examinable, but it isn't. But it's just, he knows how to make a good packet trick. And this is nothing new. This goes back to, like I said, Oil and Queens, and then apparently it was an Aldo Colombini version, and then Sadowitz and Duffy did a version, and he's done this. And his take on it, and the reason why it feels retro is obviously because it is. So why has it been made? Well, as he says, now we can print these cards up so they look really nice and they look really professional. So if you look at some of the older tricks, packet tricks that you used to get, sometimes they would look so different and so weird and like put together quite quickly, and that's because we didn't have the technology to mass produce stuff, and we have now. So the good things about this are that the cards are really well made. They're this kind of almost like a steampunk design. They look really, really nice. And they're quite hardy, so they're not going to last a few goes, then starting to get all tatty. It's really easy to set up. There's a really quick reset. There's no, obviously they're gimmicked cards, but there's no other weird gimmicks involved, if you see what I mean. They are just cards. There's nothing extra going on there. And it is easy. Now it requires a double lift, a block push off, a very easy block push off. An Elmsley count. A Jordan count, I believe, or was that? No, it's just an Elmsley count. But, so you've got to be able to do those moves to be able to do this trick. And I think that's the case with a lot of packet tricks. There is a different version on here. There's a couple of versions, actually. There's one that is fractal and can be examined, but I don't feel it's needed, really. If you want to do that, that's great. But the original version is fine. When you do the trick, yes, it's not examinable, but also the heat isn't on the thing that can't be examined. So they can pick the cards up that you finish on and it's really nice. The effect being that you've got these squash flies, and this appeals to me for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's a trick that works for kids that isn't a really kiddie trick. It's got a bit of darkness to it, right? Because you kill flies in it. So I like those tricks that kids will enjoy, but they won't feel patronised with. They won't feel like it's a really... And obviously, this isn't really young kids, but like my son's 9 years old now. So a lot of magic tricks that are kiddie, he kind of... And obviously he's biased because he's seen so many, but when I did this for him, he was delighted at the end. He was delighted that I'd killed some flies. I'm not saying these are kind of... Not in a way that serial killers, when their kids are delighted when animals, but it was that kind of. If I had, what I'm saying is, if I had have killed some flies, he wouldn't have been delighted. I don't know, but there you go. Sorry, but yeah. So it's that really nice. It's got a bit of darkness to it, a bit like the joke again. Like I said with Gone, when you have these jokes that you turn the card over, you've got to play the bad joke, and John Bannon's very good at this in the review, in the DVD, the download. He's very laid back, isn't he, John Bannon? If you see him now, he's just really chilled out, and so he's not done this and gone. And it's his hilarious gag at the end. He's kind of going, yeah, there's this bad gag, and you play the bad gag. You know, like when he says John Bannon flies at the beginning, he says, you know, which everybody thinks is hilarious. So he's very aware, and it sounds obvious, but you see a lot of magicians that aren't aware. They do these gags at the end, and they think that's going to sell the trick. And the trick is funny, it's quirky, it is magical, but you're playing it for the difference. And it is different, isn't it? Any card trick that's a little bit different, and that's why I kind of like these tricks. They feel entertaining. So negatives, there's not really any negatives with this, other than you're quite limited. I suppose they're not bicycle cards, so if you wanted to switch in cards and things like that, you're not going to... I don't feel the need to do that. The trick isn't, here's a normal deck and all of a sudden I've changed them into ones with flies on. The trick is, here's some quirky cards that I've got with flies on. So that's okay, but you might not want to do that as a separate thing. Other negative, it's not a stormer, is it? You know, it's not. It's an incidental trick, so if you don't need any more of them. But, you know, I think I saw it's like 17 quid, something like that. It was about $20, isn't it? It's not much for a magic trick. I don't think that is specially printed that you can't, you know, bang up yourself in a couple of seconds. And it's angle proof, and yeah, there's really nothing negative to say about it. If you like the trick and you like the effect, you won't be disappointed. So there you go, John Bannon's Buzzkill. Please check out cardmagiccourse.com. Please like and subscribe, very important. Please share it, and if I've been all over the place and my head's been out of I think my hair's probably been out of the frame somewhat, but it doesn't matter, does it? And I hope this looks okay. Have a good one. Cheers, take care.